Welcome back to the Giant Take YouTube channel. I am Josh, and Alex is on my left over here. We have another film review for you. If you haven't already, go check out our episode. That was episode number 85 of the Giant Take podcast, our first YouTube episode. That was the episode before this, and we mentioned that we were going to do a film review on Ifeadi Odenigbo. I hope I'm saying that right, but yeah, so we're here and we're going to do one. Obviously, the Giants went out and signed John Ross on a 1-year, $2.5 million deal on the offensive side on the wide receiver. And we did a film review on him. So if you haven't checked that out too, go check it out. And now we're spending $2.5 million on a 1-year deal on another player on the defensive side of the ball, Lineman. And he's had in his career about 10.5 sacks, 34 solo tackles, 1 forced fumble. I go over more of the stats in the podcast if you want to check that out. But let's get into it. I think, Alex, you ready for it?
Yep, we'll get right into it here. We have about 6 clips, I believe, pulled up. So we'll get right into it. We're going to be using this angle. If you looked at the other film reviews, we kind of looked at both angles. With the defensive line, when you're trying to analyze them, it's harder to see it from that main angle. So we're going to start from over here. Here we have new Giants quarterback, also Mike Glennon. He will be both Giants quarterbacks will be in this in these few clips. So we have him on the right, number 95. You'll see him for the first 2 clips on this right-hand side, and then you'll see him move into the middle, and I'll make sure to point that out when that happens. So we start here. I'll play at full speed now. We see him. He's going against Cam Robinson, I believe, of the Jaguars, who's actually a very good left tackle here, a very nice young left tackle who, has been doing, I think he got a long-term deal pretty recently with the Jaguars here. We'll watch it again in slow motion, and then Josh can talk about it. He doesn't, and this obviously he gets the safety here.
Yeah, and you see Ifeadi kind of just pushing that offensive lineman, pushing, and then at that point, he's already past him. So I don't know if we'll see what, Alex has the clips pulled up beforehand, so I'll figure it out as we go. But at least in this one, you're seeing that he's not really trying to glide past the offensive lineman and make a move. He's just kind of pushing until he gets to quarterback Mike Glennon. And this was from this past season as Glennon started the Jaguar season, and then it went to Gardner Minshew. So you can tell that this was this past season. And yeah, like Alex is showing again. So good job, Alex. You can kind of just see him kind of moving his legs around the offensive lineman, but obviously not like making a move, like maybe juking left and going right, trying to get past him, just pushing and using all his weight, and then sacking Mike Glennon eventually in the end zone for a safety. So good job by him. And I mean, Alex, you got anything else on this clip?
Yeah, so obviously he's kind of a bigger guy. So when he is on the edge, like we see here, he's more using his strength. So he's using more of a bull rush kind of thing right here to get to the quarterback, kind of pushing Robinson back. And obviously his pressure along with the other side edge rusher, really gets to Mike Glennon, and he is taken down for the safety. So, a good play from him. And hopefully we can see more of this with the Giants, but this is on the edge. And then we have another clip where he will be on the edge over here. This is again against Mike Glennon part 2 right here. So Mike Glennon and him may have some beef coming into training camp. So we have this clip here. You'll see him on the outside against Cam Robinson again. This is not as successful, but you do see him able to get to the quarterback. Obviously, Mike Glennon gets it off just in time. This time you see him maybe not do as much of a bull rush, but try to get around him. So this is kind of a different type of play. I thought in the same game against the same lineman, it might be interesting to see another battle. So I picked this clip as well. Nothing crazy here, but this is just something you could see with his technique and how he's trying to adjust to that situation.
Yeah, and you can obviously tell that the tight end trying to block him originally, or that was, I think, a running back or wide receiver, whoever it was, right in the beginning there, he obviously doesn't do a great job kind of sealing him. I think he was also supposed to go out for a route, so that's something. And then in opposite of what I said earlier about the pushing, you see that left hand go in front of the offensive lineman Robinson's face, and you see him kind of juke left and move right, Alex, if you can rewind there for a second. Obviously, it's a clip, or it's a pick, excuse me. So you see him right there and then juke. So he takes that left foot and drives it in and then cuts right. And then obviously uses that left hand and gets towards Mike Glennon, which actually some referees could call that push on Glennon at the end.
Yeah, roughing the passer.
but it actually does not happen to be that. And then obviously they get the pick. And who is that? Is that Rudolph?
That's Harrison Smith right there.
Harrison
So
Smith, excuse me.
another very good safety there. But
I don't know why I'm thinking of Rudolph. I guess on the offensive side, the tight end Kyle Rudolph. No, I meant Harrison Smith. Yes, thank you, Alex. Sorry.
Yeah, so definitely his pressure there on Mike Glennon helping lead to the interception. So I thought that was a good play there. And now we're going to see him moving, showing his flexibility. This is against the Bears, our friend Mitch Trubisky. He's going to be actually, he will be on the outside here again. Sorry. I keep so he will be right over here on this side. He will absolutely get over there, rush. He will pick up the fumble. He'll recover the fumble, and then he'll go. And he seems to be, he goes all the way. Obviously I knew that happened, but just live commentary right there.
Great play-by-play, Alex. You're practicing.
Yeah, great play-by-play. So if you want to come listen to my play-by-play, just
check out the film reviews.
Yeah, exactly. You'll see him here on the right-hand side. I'll go through the slow. He beats this left tackle for the Bears. I don't know his name coming to mind, number 72 there, but yeah, Josh, you want to go more into this play?
Yeah, why not? That was I think that's Charles Leno Jr. I believe, Alex. But
yeah,
he's good player for the Chicago Bears. Obviously, 7 years in the league. I actually just pulled that up. So yeah, 7 years in the league. And yeah, I've heard of his name before. But anyway, yeah, if you want to start the clip over, Alex, just real quick. Obviously, it's that one forced fumble that we saw this past season from Odenigbo, but as you can just see, just comes off the line, and then the fullback or the tight end doesn't really go towards him, goes to number 40, the linebacker, and then is able to push once again. So he tries the same thing that he did in the end zone when he got the safety, tries to go around and then just push his way towards Mitch Trubisky. And obviously Trubisky, we know, just like Daniel Jones, kind of has had those fumble issues. And Trubisky, I think, sensed the pressure a little bit. So then he cocked back to try and throw the ball deep or wherever he was trying to throw it. And obviously right when he cocked back, his arm is exposed, right? He's on the pocket towards the ball's not towards his chest anymore. So it's exposed. And that's why it was easy to just basically rip the ball out. And Ifeadi kind of just does that really well here. Obviously, like you said too, the agility, I think you said, going down the sideline, obviously for the touchdown.
Yeah, he could be a running back too. So maybe Joe Judge uses that on offense. He scored a touchdown there, more than Evan Ingram's touchdowns. No, but actually, he must have scored at least a couple this season. I'm just rambling on now. This is against the Chargers. This is from 2 years ago now, because obviously you can see this is Mr. Phillip Rivers, who is also no longer an NFL quarterback, or at least not with the Colts. So you can see over here, he will be right here in this play. And I believe, here we go. So if we see this play here, he's going to be right in there. You'll see the rush there. He does a spin move, and he gets there. He recovers the fumble. Then he slips out the fumble. Then Austin Eckler fumbles it again. Then he picks up the fumble again. And this is a just really odd play. And then you see the speed down the sideline and just that tremendous speed. And he literally does have more touchdowns than Evan Ingram. So maybe he plays tight end, but really good from him. You can see here he's not in the edge here, right? So we'll see him in the inside. He's going up against a guard, and he pulls off this spin move here. Here, where is it? Yep, there we go. And he completely jukes that offensive lineman, and he's able, he obviously doesn't get the fumble there, but he's able to recover because he's, close to the quarterback at that point.
Yeah, a great job. Really great job, Alex. Obviously, the spin move as well. I think that was against Sam Tevy, and I think, a very good job with the spin move. So obviously does that thing where he runs to the left side, bounces off Eckler, and then goes for the quarterback. I think I'm actually looking at the wrong guy here. No, I'm not. Yeah, I'm looking at the right guy. Anyway. It does a spin move, and then obviously goes for the strip sack, which basically gets it, but doesn't get the sack. Gets the fumble, loses it again with Eckler, and then obviously is able to pick it up on the second time.
Yeah, and then again, the speed. This guy, he's got some quick speed. What does he run, a 4.2? Definitely some. Maybe he's the kick returner. Really good from him as well. All jokes aside, but really good play here, and you're just seeing, the different moves he has in his locker as a pass rusher. So good to see that he, is so versatile, not only in his position, but only in the way in the way he plays as well. Over here, this is an interesting one. We have a run play as well. So this video started a little quickly. So we have Tom Brady. He's up against the GOAT. And we have number 95. You'll see him right here. Linebacker right on top of him. And I believe Tristan Wirfs would be on this side. So this would be Smith, I believe, who plays left tackle for the Buccaneers. So you'll see him. This is him pushing the run, and he's able to make the tackle there on Ronald Jones, who's not an easy guy to tackle at all. So good to see him, and he's effective in the run game as well.
Yeah, Alex, actually, Ifeadi ran a 4.72 40-yard dash. So still, for a defensive lineman, though, I mean, you might laugh. That's pretty fast, actually. Yeah. So hopefully he'll be able to bring some speed to that D-line and get to players quickly. I think that's actually pretty cool to read on. But yeah, kind of just drives. You can obviously tell to run up the middle as often the offensive lineman, drive to that middle area. And then he's just basically able with his left arm. It depends on what angle I'm looking at. I'm trying to think about it logically here. But I believe it's his left arm just kind of grabs Ronald Jones and brings him down for the tackle. So a good job by him. Obviously, that is a tough move when you don't have your full body onto it. But then obviously he grabs onto his waist or around that area and then just drives him towards the ground. So yeah, great play.
And I believe we have two more here. This is against Deshaun Watson. Another very good quarterback. Before we get to the play, let's find out where he is, and that way we can talk about that. So he is right over here. So you'll see him come inside, and you'll see him come, and he will get pressure. Deshaun Watson will still be able to get it away, but let me just rewind back so we can see how he does again. But he beats here. This is Laramie Tunsil, right? So very good left tackle. And obviously he's also going up against that guard there, who I do not know the name of. Let's see, number 64.
Senio Clemente, Alex.
Yeah, Josh has the whole offensive lineman name memorized, okay? So he knows these things. So he's going up against that guy who I just forgot his name again. And he's very close to getting Deshaun Watson. You see maybe it's another strip sack there, but Deshaun Watson obviously is a better quarterback than Mitch Trubisky, can feel pressure, and it gets it away to his wide receiver. And obviously it's a pretty nice gain there, and I believe that's Randall Cobb. So good play from them. But, again, he is able to beat the lineman there, and obviously the guy's falling on the floor, so he's beaten him completely. But good play again.
Yeah, that's Senio Clemente, Alex. I know you really had that one in control. But
Yep.
But yeah, great play by him. Obviously, like you said, Deshaun Watson basically does a jump pass in the air for that one, which is pretty crazy. But another good play. Obviously, that's what we're pulling up here to kind of show you how he looks and all of that stuff. But obviously, he's a pretty good defensive lineman, and I think Alex immediately once we signed him, you're like, we should do a film review on this guy. So I mean, from what you're pulling up, this is stuff that the Giants defensive line is probably going to want. I'm sure. Obviously, that's why they signed him.
Yeah, and I think his flexibility is definitely going to be very helpful. And this, of course, it's on our own. Daniel Jones. It's just not a good situation here. I believe, who is this? Alfred Morris here, of course. Oh, wait, no, that's not Alfred Morris. That's Williams. Sorry, I thought this was this season, but it's actually last season. So we see Mike Remmers here. We got Kevin Zeitler. We've got, John Jalapeno, Hernandez, and Soldier. I know the Giants' offensive line, so that's why I had to announce it.
Go. Jonathan Stewart, Alex. Williams.
I can't even see who it is. For some reason, I thought, whatever.
I think that's Jonathan Stewart.
Yeah, so number 95 here. Obviously, we know who that is. I'm not going to try to pronounce his name. Don't worry.
But yeah.
Yep. So we see this play. He goes up against John Jalapeno sucks. So not surprising that he's able to get past him, and Daniel Jones gets absolutely crushed by him. Poor Daniel Jones, I feel bad, but if we look at the clip again.
Yeah, let's go a little slow motion here as the whole offensive line basically collapsed. Yeah, so you see here at Minnesota Vikings, they send a blitz. They have the edge rushers on the side, and they have the linebacker all coming in. Obviously, the linebacker comes in a little slower, but you see just the movement by all the players on the offensive line. Daniel Jones has no time to throw. And then I think it's just Ifeadi basically just has an easy sack. It could have been one of those any four players that are basically surrounded. There is 3 Vikings on top of Daniel Jones at the end of this play. So it could have been any of them that got it. Luckily for our highlight tape here, our video review or film review, excuse me, we're able to have a sack that went to Odenigbo. But
this wasn't even him. I mean, if while we're at it, we might as well look how terrible this Giants offensive line is. The only person who's doing anything remotely good is Kevin Zeitler here. He's holding his man back, but everyone else, Hernandez, Jalapio's on his ass. Nate Soldier's flying all over the place. Mike Remmers is falling on the ground. It's just absolutely catastrophic. And luckily, a lot of those guys are not on the team anymore. Thank God.
Right. Well, I was just saying when you said that, when you were like, Kevin Zeitler's the only one blocking it, I just said, I don't think you heard me. I said, look where he is now, right? So the one guy who's actually blocking is not currently with the team anymore. But I think we'll go on to the last clip now. Obviously, like I said, this one, while you move to it,
this is actually the last clip. See, it's over. It's over.
It's over. All right. Well, we hope you enjoyed this draft. I said this draft again. We're gonna have to do a draft film review because I can't put film review without putting draft in front of it. But we hope you enjoyed this film review. We'll do another one in the future. Go follow us on Twitter at The Giant Take Pod. Go subscribe, drop a like, and check out our other videos. And obviously, the first video podcast, episode number 85 of The Giant Take Podcast, has been uploaded to here as well. So hope you enjoy this one, and we'll see you next time.